Bro, what the fuck?
Whoa!
Yeah. Babe. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love a lie. Been chillin' with all the birds, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the sun is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle love without the trusting. Yeah, I can see the top, I wanna touch it. Yeah, yeah, we been getting money, no discussion. Now I don't let it top, and shorty always get the fussing. Yeah, hey, I like the cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on her. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on her. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on her. Yeah, and I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the ride to end. Yeah, to the nice end. Yeah, yeah, to the nice end. I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Selling Brody couldn't stand for it, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the head of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just gained a lot of love on the west side. I'm the GOAT, but I would never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like I'm Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good and it's the best side. I remember.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. My name is Tyco. We have a full house today. Monday night, you know what that means? Monday Night Football and a weekend recap of all the great things that took place this weekend in both college and NFL football. So we're going to go over it for you. Dylan has watched about 5.5 hours of film dating back to last night from 10 o'clock to about 2 to 3 in the morning because he can.
For no reason at all. It kind of just shows off where my social life is at right now. But, you know, that's not really the point. The point is that I couldn't watch any of this on Saturday because some podcasts may or may not have been at a tailgate all day. So I had to rewatch all of it last night from 10 o'clock to 3 a.m. But the important thing is, I have a lot of this shit engraved in my brain. A lot of pointless games that I watch for zero reason at all. But it's okay. I'm glad to be here and I'm ready to go. And I know the boys are too. After that great weekend at Grand Valley, eh?
I mean, Luke's just juice. You can just feel it flowing right out of him. All these
Luke's
words.
always juice.
It's
coming out of
a good weekend, fun weekend.
It's that energy we love.
Okay, am I the only one going to be talking about it? Like,
you just said it was a good weekend. I didn't know if there was any more. It's a little dry.
Well, I didn't realize I was going to be the only one describing the entire weekend.
Maybe you are. We want to know what you were
going first.
What if it was? What would I hear?
And what? That would be it?
I wouldn't know shit.
Yeah,
See, that's the issue. What if? What if everyone just cut out immediately and everyone was gone? I'd be like, what did happen? Luke be like, it was fucking good, all right? Just fucking leave it alone. It was good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the fuck happened. I said it was good. Fair enough. But I didn't watch any college football at all. I had to ask Siri today in the car because they're talking about Michigan State on 97.1, and I was like, oh, did they win? Did they lose? I had no idea. And then I realized I had no idea what happened in any college football games at all. And then I had to ask Siri about like 5 different college football games, and that's all I know is the score to like 3 or 4 games off the top of my head right now. totally missed it this weekend. So I can talk about NFL all you want.
Well, I'm happy that I did what I did.
Yeah, because I was
a lot better than I accomplished.
You lost me.
Accomplished last night.
You lost me. Yeah. So we'll get into the NFL first, starting with the NFL Week 4 review. The picks were in as well, but let's just get into the review.
I think it won't be like too big of a blowout.
Barkley down the sideline. Saquon Barkley.
You don't fuck with Aaron.
Some teams, it doesn't matter. I think it's going to be a very mucky dub. And it's going to get ugly.
They have the chance to lose themselves a game, probably.
Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
All right, let's get into it. Starting with Thursday night football. We have not talked to you guys since Wednesday, so let's talk about it. Thursday night football. The Bengals defeated the Dolphins 27-15. The story in this one, Tua Tagovailoa taken to the hospital after they're suffering definitely a concussion and probably something else because they said he had a back injury before, so God only knows what it really was. But taken to the hospital after that game, Tua will be out for probably a couple weeks now. I think it was probably a bad idea for him to even be in that game in the first place, but he was. So you guys tell me, what do you think? Do you think that he should have even been playing in this game? Was it handled correctly? Yada, yada. Give me your take, Dylan.
No and no. No, he should not have been playing in this game, and no, it was not handled correctly. I think that all of this was just bad. I think that the entire way that this was handled was horrible, and then ESPN reported 2 days ago that the unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant involved in clearing the Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa during the game against the Bills has been fired after it is found that he made several mistakes in his evaluation according to ESPN and multiple sources. Yeah, we know he made several mistakes because we saw the man get up, and it's not even the stumble that last week that worried me. It was the fact that when he got up last week, the first thing he do is shook his head and had to figure out where the hell he was. It's unfortunate that the exact same type of head injury to the back of his head happened this week, but he shouldn't have been in the game in the first place. And several mistakes at an NFL professional level, they can't happen, not to a quarterback.
Well, I mean, it looks really bad for the Dolphins because regardless if it was an actual concussion or not, two big traumas to the head like that short is never fucking good. And regardless if he was actually okay or not from last game, I still don't think regardless what you think, he should have been playing this game. No matter, he should have been given time off because, I mean, I don't know. I don't like it. I didn't like him playing in the game Thursday.
I think it was a stupid idea too. I couldn't
Especially
agree more.
Short week.
It was
Especially.
Stupid. There was no reason he should have been out on that football field.
It's week 4.
Yeah, it's Teddy Bridgewater.
It's week 4.
That's your starter.
For real.
But Tua has injury history. So wouldn't you want to make sure that everything's okay with a guy who's injured his bottom half enough? Now he injures his head. You think it's his back. You send him back in. He plays that whole game, and then 4 days later you want to play him in another game? It was poor decision making.
I don't know. I saw one video, and
I don't have the name of that neuros.
This one doc on YouTube or whatever. I was just watching it, and he was explaining that there could be some type of there kind of is some type of loophole in the concussion protocol, while they're not determining what caused the injury, because if the physician or nurse, whoever it was determining it happened it was caused in a certain way and not in another, which would have been more concussion and would have taken him out, it would allow him to come back and play. And honestly, I think that's why they took a big deep dive into that concussion protocol change.
I agree. I wanna shift onto the Cincinnati side though, real quick, by asking Jesse a question. So you guys are 2-2, and every game you've played in has been a 14-point game decided or less. And those teams you've played is the Mitchell Trubisky Steelers, Cowboys with no Dak, the Jets, and Miami with no
Cooper
Tua.
Rush far now, by the way.
Hold on.
I know.
Can't disrespect
Wait,
Cooper
let me get
Rush.
to my question. So my question to you is, now that there's comp really coming up, are you still confident in this Bengals team as you were before the season started?
Yeah.
For those that aren't aware, comp is competition. Dylan's not good with big words.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Hard to
no,
sound out.
I'm still confident in the boys because I just feel like we had a slow start. Our offensive line, they need time to gel. They haven't really played that much time together. These are their first 4 games together in the first place. So I feel like they just need more time to mend, and everything will start moving on its own. And we might, as time goes on, we might lose this next game to Baltimore, but shit, it's only 5 games. Even though it's a tough division, still 5 games.
Yeah, everyone else in the
Still 5
division
games.
lost again, so that was good.
Yeah. And a lot of teams, they lose games that they should probably win, but we'll get into that. Moving on, we got the Vikings and the Saints heading to London. This game was early, so if you guys were driving home, maybe from the festivities of your weekend, like we were listening to it on Sirius XM on the radio from
Gotta
9 to
shout
12.
out.
That was fun.
Gotta shout out the Saints radio team, by the way.
Oh, yeah. They're funny.
The Deuce, his name, I remember his name. Deuce is fucking hilarious because let me just say this. You never want a happy-go-lucky commentary the whole time. You need the pissed off, what are we doing commentator, and that's what we had the entire time, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, shout out Deuce. Moving on from the radio guy. The Vikings, 28, Saints, 25. If you were following on Ride the Tide's Twitter at Ride the Tide 586, you caught this as one of my picks. We cashed the over. Vikings, though, managed to squeak this one out. I feel like last year this is a game that the Vikings would lose by a field goal. So I'm actually proud of the Vikings for figuring out their shit and now winning games by 3 points instead of losing them by 3 points. Also beat the Lions by 4 points. So, they're winning the close games now instead of losing all of them and being under 500. So shout out to the Vikings for taking 8 years to figure it out, but they figured it out a little bit. But what do you guys think about this game? Did anybody get to catch the highlights? I don't know how many of you were up for the game.
I was watching it because I had work at 9. So then when it got to 9:30, I was already at work. I just threw it up on my phone, watched the whole game. Man, I don't know what's up with the Saints. I know Kamara didn't play, Thomas didn't play. So it really was a better game than you think they would have played since they were down 3 starters. But I still feel like, yes, they double doinked, by the way, too. They could have tied it.
Oh, yeah. Talk about ending it with the Saints, in London, man. All they care about in London is kicking, and they ended on a kick with a double doink.
History. They didn't have Thomas or Kamara, so Andy Dalton might have been able to win with those two. So I'm not going to knock him yet, but, man.
If it was Jameis, shit would have been different.
Hey, isn't London just so special, though?
Yeah.
Look at those 2 GOAT quarterbacks we sent over to show off the NFL in London. Dalton versus Cousins, prime time, 2 o'clock game in London.
Cousins a chance. They're flip it over for him.
Yeah, give them the opposite of prime time. Let them play in the morning in America.
Dude, I think the Saints decline. Hard decline, bro. I think they're going to win 6 games this year, bro. I think Jameis has half a fucking spinal cord, and I think that Andy Dalton isn't going to be able to win those games either. Yeah. But that's why I like him. I kind of like.
You guys have that in common.
Because the comments that he makes, I can relate to. But when it comes to his play on the field, I mean, he still has a broken back, and when I get Kamara's hurt, but when you have Latavius Murray as your starting back, it's going to be hard to win games.
Well, that's not their starting back.
I know. That's why I said when you have him and I also pointed that Kamara was injured. I pointed both those things out. I don't know why you still corrected me, but
He didn't correct you. He just said he's not the starting back. He knows
He's
what
the
you
starting
said,
back.
Dylan. This podcast is so toxic when
I was
everyone
just
just
saying,
feels like they're being attacked. Y'all are just too stuffed up sometimes. Right now, Dylan, you're too stuffed up.
nobody feels like they're being attacked.
You immediately said you felt like you were being attacked, and now you feel like I'm attacking. Let's fucking move on, Dylan. I just want you to know not everyone's going to agree with all your statements, but that doesn't mean that they want to hurt you.
It wasn't an opinion.
Next game,
Fact.
Browns and Falcons. Falcons take this one over the Browns. If you're following the picks, we cashed the money line. Falcons money line. Falcons 23, Browns 20. Probably not a lot of people tried to tune in and actually watch this game. If you saw it, you were probably definitely watching Red Zone. If you did decide to watch all of the Falcons and Browns game, kudos to you. I could not have done that. But any thoughts on this game? Let's hear.
I didn't even see any of this game. I was too busy watching Lions.
Falcons taking that win.
I did see.
Pretty sure you're wearing the Dion fit.
I have it on because we beat the Browns.
You beat
the Browns, and you didn't even do it with Cordell.
But, they didn't do it with Marcus Mariota.
No, they didn't. They did it with Alligator.
And you know,
hey, you got to do what you got to do.
I want Desmond Ritter on the field.
Yeah,
Put Ritter out there.
They're not trying to lose. Come on.
Because their defense finally fucking stepped up, and the only person that did anything in Cleveland was the only person that was expected to do anything, which was Nick Chubb. Like, he had 118 yards and a touchdown, but, like, of course he did. That was expected. But fucking A.J. Terrell had that boy Amari Cooper on lock for 1 reception and 9 yards, and then no one else really did anything but the tight end. So kudos to Atlanta's defense for finally stepping up this year. At least the passing defense.
Look, you got any thoughts on this game?
No, I didn't really watch this game.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Not a lot of people really did at all. But the Browns fall to 2-2. Makes me feel better. Browns should not be very good. Okay. Next game we got up. Bills 23, Ravens 20. Now I know this made one person very happy who thought that they were going to lose, and this made another person shake their head who is currently shaking their head. So let's go to those two.
Yeah! You want to know why? It's because Lamar is never going to be him. Because Lamar Jackson, the second you think that he can beat the really good teams, he just lets it slip away. It happened with Miami, and it happened with Buffalo, and I'm sorry to say, but this is what the Ravens do.
That was such a stupid comment. The audacity for you to blame the Miami game on Lamar is crazy.
No, that was defense. But I was making that point because my thing is that Lamar will always be an exciting quarterback, but I don't always think that he'll be the guy that can get the job done. It's happened for
the job done last night because he didn't change the play. He follows Jim. He isn't one of those quarterbacks that are like, I'm changing the play. I don't want to do the play. And Harbaugh keeps trying to do these stupid ass fourth down, go for it with a fucking pass. Like, I don't have my boy back who's been running a great game, playing a great game. J.K. Dobbins behind him.
Oh, yeah, J.K. went crazy.
I have a mobilized quarterback, and I want to throw the ball. And I understand Lamar threw a bad pass. His target got taken down. He threw it over the wrong shoulder. Bad pass. But he never should have been passing. I don't think he should have been passing on that 4th and 2. They should have kicked a field goal. You're playing Buffalo. Right. You're Justin Tucker. You just take the points and let your defense stand up. But because of what happened in Miami, coach didn't trust defense. So he wanted to try and put him away then because he believes in his offense more. And that is what lost him that game.
Yeah, but, I mean, that is what lost him that game. Here's how I look at it. With the conditions of the weather, the run game is how you were going to win that game. And when you look at Buffalo's run game, especially going into this game, they've had no run game at all. So the fact that Josh Allen had 70 rushing yards and a touchdown, and then you have Lamar Jackson who had 73 yards, it was basically the two quarterbacks that were providing more of the run game than the passing game. So then you do have to factor in the passing game when you look at how even it was. and then you have Josh Allen who's going to throw for 200 yards every game that he plays, unless he's playing in New England in that weather last year, which was just unbelievable with 50-mile-an-hour winds. He's going to get 200 yards plus every single game that he's in. And when Lamar...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But when I feel like Lamar is forced to throw the ball, especially in bad weather conditions, against a really good Buffalo defense, there's a higher chance for it to go bad than it is to go well. And that's exactly what happened because he didn't even have 150 yards. The QBR rating?
J.K. Dobbins had what? 100? I mean,
J.K. only had 41 yards in a tutty, and then he had 20 passing yards.
Okay.
Receiving yards, I mean. So J.K. just did his thing when he needed to. But
I wouldn't even say what's it called because you say when they play the good teams, but I feel like Buffalo's defense is very crippling.
Who do they beat this year? Who are the 2 wins against?
You're talking about Baltimore?
Baltimore, yeah.
This season's been a blur.
All right, I'll
after that, I'm pointing out a stat.
Is right.
For which team?
The Ravens.
What's the stat?
What is it? He's looking for it.
Ravens' all-time record when leading by 17-plus points in the first 26 seasons, 103. This season, 1-2.
Wait, 103 and what? Oh, 103?
102.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The Ravens.
So two of those three
are this
year.
At
so
home.
it was 99
home.
and 1 before this year.
Yes, both at home too.
Ooh.
And the Ravens beat the Jets and the Patriots. So I wouldn't call those two teams anything special.
I'm not worried. Their defense just got to get it together.
Well, here's the thing. They got the Bengals.
Don't disrespect Bill Belichick, Dylan. Hold on. Time out. We're not going to just blow past the Patriots like Bill Belichick didn't just have a third-string quarterback out there.
Baltimore has
damn near winning a game.
That wasn't Bill. That was the Zach.
You're an idiot if you don't think that's not all Bill Belichick. If you think that it's not, if Bill Belichick is not the reason that the Patriots are going into overtime against the fucking Packers, you're an idiot and you don't know shit about Bill Belichick.
Bill runs the offense and the defense now.
He's the head coach.
Yes, but that's what the fuck do you think the offensive coordinator does? Just stand there and watches?
It's in his bloodline works for the goddamn team. He put his son on the fucking defense because he trained that motherfucker, and then he probably chirps in the offensive coordinator's ear. So, yeah, he does run the offense and the defense. And I'm pretty sure he tells the special teams guy probably what he fucking wants to do, too, because who makes the call?
Unbelievable.
Fucking Bill. Bill makes the call.
1-3.
Well, Bill had a fucking third-string quarterback out there gunning it in overtime against fucking Aaron Rodgers. So put some fucking respect on the Patriots and Bill Belichick. I will not stand the slander because when fucking Zappy walks into Detroit next week and fucking has 400 fucking passing yards, or no, it's in New England actually. So he gets to stay at home this week, chillax on his fucking third-string quarterback salary, and then come out and fucking destroy the Detroit Lions defense next week. And maybe, just maybe, the over will hit 63.5 points, and we might win that fucking game if Zappy manages to fumble the ball maybe once or twice. But God forbid we get an interception.
Are under 63 on that game?
I don't know. It should be. We're playing fucking SEC football out here. If the fucking casino knows anything, it'll be close to 60.
It's 46.5.
Okay, well, I'm betting the over.
Over.
I'm betting it.
And New England's only favored -2.5. But
hey, we cover spreads when we're supposed to lose.
Yeah.
Give me it too.
Anyways, that's all I have to say on the game. Luke?
I don't know. I was a little disappointed about Lamar Jackson because I was kind of pushing for the Ravens to win. But, at the end of the day, Bill Belichick will be Bill Belichick. It doesn't matter who he has in. He's going to give you a run for your money.
Oh,
I fucked with your head, Luke.
God.
They played the Bills. Bill Belichick's the head coach of the Patriots. I fucked with your head. That's my fault. That's my fault. It was Ravens versus Bills. But I said Bill so many fucking times with Belichick after it that I fucked with Luke's brain enough to confuse him to where he then said Bill Belichick.
Yeah, but
My
now
bad.
I thought I was tweaking.
Nah, I realized what was happening, and then I realized it was my fault, and I apologize.
That's why you
It's
don't do
okay.
drugs,
Don't just-
kids.
Ravens will win next time they meet.
It's okay. Dylan
They
just has
should.
to overreact over every little thing.
I'm sorry, but that was hilarious.
I just knew that once I heard Belichick, I
When
was
you
like,
watch that back,
ah, shit.
you'll understand why that was hilarious.
I'll watch that whole back and watch everyone not laugh.
I laughed.
See, like,
but
why is there
but
beef?
you won't not watch everyone laugh. But what's the next game we got?
Next game up is the Cowboys and Commanders. Cooper Rush goes 4-0 now in his NFL career, defeating the Commanders 25-10 to move the Cowboys to 3-1 and secure his spot in the race to permanently claim Dak Prescott's job and run him straight out of town. What do you guys?
Luke, I'll let you start. This is your boy.
Cooper Rush did good. He won the game. He's undefeated. He's taking
I
Dak's
drafted
job. That's
Dak.
all I got to say.
Short and sweet.
Dak makes too much money to have his job taken from him this season.
Not what Jerry
That's the
thinks.
predicament for Jerry.
That's not what Jerry thinks.
But at the same time, Jerry's like,
Jerry wants
none of my quarterbacks have ever
Jerry
started
just wants to
4-0.
win.
Dak gets back. Dak's gonna get that first game. Dak has to win, and he has to win well.
He's the ball.
You're right. You're right, though.
Because if he comes in and
If he loses that game,
no matter who's it against, it could be Kansas City.
they can be playing the fucking Bills.
He can't lose. He has to win. Or Jerry's gonna sit there like, hey, coach.
Put that Cooper kid back in.
What's going on here? We were 4-0 with that kid. Now we're lost again with Coop. Get Dak out of here. Get Dak out of here.
You got to.
Bench him. We'll trade him next year. Nah, they won't.
The Commanders are a shit show. They have no O-line at all. The first stat that was mentioned on Red Zone that I told Tyler said Carson Wentz is going to die. The fucking Cowboys had the best defense in sacks and tackles this year, and the Commanders have allowed the most sacks and tackles this year. And it went exactly how you would expect it, and they had no offensive yards. They had nothing offensively that could get going. And I just see that being a team that is just going to be really, really bad this year. But on Dallas's side, I mean, hey, they're 3-1, and in a division that is probably going to be ran by the Eagles. Hang on, man, just hang on to that second place spot.
It's 3-1, 3-1, 4-0. What do you mean? It's so tight right now.
You think the Giants are going to hang on to that bitch?
You know,
Come on now, Jesse.
Hey, when you play
on
like
that
nasty
3-1.
football, hey, sometimes it works out.
We'll see what happens.
Ooh, let's go.
It's Saquon's Giants right now, and they're 3-1. That's all I can say. They're 3-1.
Hey, Danny Dimes wasn't supposed to finish that game yesterday, but he had to come back in.
Yeah, bro. They had Saquon running the goddamn Wildcat. I'm like,
Tyler goes, who's quarterback?
But then, like, they have Saquon out there running the Wildcat, and they have Daniel Jones with his ankle all messed up. That's like apparently what the problem was. Motherfucker's out at fucking wide receiver. Like, he's still on the field. I'm like, get off the field. Like, there's not one fucking player you could put in instead of Daniel Jones to just be there and exist.
It was supposed to be Tyrod Taylor, but he got injured and they didn't have a third.
No, the best part.
Put the fucking punter in there. He was just there to fucking do nothing. And Daniel Jones can't even fucking run. You got your fucking franchise quarterback over at wide receiver while Saquon Barkley's in here taking fucking direct snaps. Take him off the field. Put a lineman in. I don't give a shit.
So what happened to
He
Mike
shouldn't be
Glennon?
out there.
Mike Glennon was probably running over on the sidelines. He said, put his helmet on. He said, all right, coach, I'm ready to go. Coach, put his helmet on. He goes, no. We got Saquon. Sit your ass back on the bench.
Sit down.
We got it.
I was like, what are they doing? Why is he
Mike.
out there hobbling at wide receiver when Saquon Barkley's running direct snaps up the middle? What's going on? Off the field, but they didn't.
You want to just jump into that game? Fucking Bears and Giants?
Fuck it.
All right, Giants won fucking 20-12.
Giants are 3-1. Shit.
Daniel Jones had 2 touchdowns, 68 yards.
Saquon McBarkley over here racking up some yards. Hey, look. Hey, fuck. God, you.
Barkley was going to do exactly what I said he's going to do. Be Mr. fucking the king running back Barkley and fucking do Barkley things if he stays healthy, and he's staying fucking healthy. And I'm knocking on wood.
That's the plan. As long as he stays healthy, they should continue to be in every game. I mean, they've had a good defense last year. They just didn't have an offense. Now I think they have a good defense this year, and they have Saquon Barkley. I mean, that's really it. You get fucking a healthy Saquon Barkley in with a good defense.
God, imagine what we could do with a fucking half-ass defense like the Giants have. It's almost like the Giants had a really, really like half-ass bad defense and then drafted one good lineman, and now they're just mediocre, and that's enough to get by. But we also drafted a lineman, and we're fucking god-awful. We also drafted another lineman that's fucking injured and haven't seen him yet. Also drafted a wide receiver that's fucking hasn't played yet. Haven't seen him. Not that fucking we need any offense, but
I hate to be
I'm just
that
ranting.
guy,
but anyways, move on.
That's the guy that they did draft, the lineman, Neal. He's been playing like shit. He's just been getting burned so far. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's not been playing good at all. So he's got to figure it out. Neal from Alabama.
Is who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Kayvon Thibodeau for the Giants.
Thibodeau. Fuck.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about the offensive line.
Not sure where we went with that, but
they drafted 2 linemen. They drafted an offensive lineman as well.
Yeah, but one could have been here.
Thibodeau's
and anyways, move on.
Yeah, we gave this game too much attention.
Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Well, the next game that we were going to talk about before we dove right into that game was on this list, the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. If you needed a quarterback off the waivers last week, hopefully you were smart enough to take one of these 2 quarterbacks, Geno Smith or Jared Goff, because neither one of these 2 defenses were playing defense on Sunday. And by that, I mean the Lions had to punt 1 time, and the Seahawks did not punt at all.
It was 12
they did not
touchdowns.
punt 1 fucking time. Not 1 time. If you guys have ever watched SEC football, that was this. Yeah, but in the NFL. And it was a scoregami, because the score of 48 to 45 has never been recorded in an NFL game in history. So, yeah. But let's get into this one. So, absolutely no defense whatsoever from the Detroit Lions. 0 sacks for the 2nd week in a row.
We barely had a kicker.
Missing extra points out here. Every Michigan State fan and their mother is fucking making fun of every Michigan fan on the streets, which is not okay because we suck at football, but everyone's making fun of Aiden Hutchinson because he ain't doing shit when really he's just over pursue. But all I'm learning about Aiden Hutchinson right now is that he's not very good at making adjustments. He's going to be the same way every single time. But so is everyone on this defense.
It doesn't matter if Aiden's playing at a star performance. It's not going to matter in this fucking defense.
It will, though, because the star performance means at least 2 to 3 sacks, which means at least maybe 1 or 2 turnovers, which is all we needed to win last game.
That's
just
not
1.
true,
that is not true.
We see how much Micah Parsons has changed.
You don't think 1 turnover would have changed that game?
No, I'm saying that.
What?
If your DNs are playing great / phenomenal, it will change the whole defense because that quarterback no longer has enough time to get to his 2nd and 3rd read, where every time Detroit is playing somebody, the quarterback can look at their 1st through 4th read.
And then decide to run. Both Jalen Hurts, but can I remind you guys, Geno Smith has not ran the ball like that all year. Can I remind you that? Until he played against the Lions defense, probably watched the same fucking film from the Eagles game, and they probably just ran that shit because they're like, yeah, you could run it, right? And Geno's like, yeah, I can fucking run it if I have to. He probably looked at the Lions defense, saw the same shit Jalen Hurts saw, gone up the middle after everyone's covered. Oh, everyone's covered in the secondary. Wide fucking open up the middle. First down. It's just we're Swiss cheese. We are Swiss cheese, and there is no there's no glue to plug us up right now.
Don't get me wrong. we've had some funky zone coverages. We've been. It feels like
The scheme is off
Glenn
somewhere.
is a step behind, like 3 steps behind the other offensive coordinator. Like it's like he's getting outplayed in the chess game the whole game, and we aren't fast. A lot of our middle of the
I mean,
pack,
look at Anzalone.
we're
That
slow.
motherfucker's 5-10 steps behind on every fucking play.
So if our coverage doesn't work, we're wide open. As soon as even if our secondaries are on, our line hasn't gotten enough pressure, and we have a hole in the middle because Anzalone cannot
10-yard
move
run up the middle. Yep.
6 yards to the left in less than 10 seconds.
And we're not breaking off any blocks. We're getting stuck on blocks. It's like glue.
All right.
We're slow.
I'm gonna take a different approach, and it's Tyler gave his little rant, and Jesse, I feel like we're about to give his. I'm gonna try to just highlight the good things, and then that's all I'm gonna say because I'm not gonna explode over them.
Then you're not
Even
gonna
though
say
I
one
want
thing
to.
about defense. I know that much.
Oh fuck no! I want to point out that Jared Goff
I could do
had
that too.
about 300, almost 380 yards. I've never seen that with Amon-Ra St. Brown not playing in the game, which is very impressive. Also, with the amount of injuries and people that are just going off the sidelines and coming back on, that was also ridiculous. Pretty sure Cephas got hurt after fucking one play. And then I also wanted to point out Jamal Williams has been a really good second running back. He fills in. He comes in, he gets 100.
No disrespect to Jamal. That was all disrespect to Cephas for only being able to play about 2 plays a year.
Yes, and then Jamal came in. He's been Jamal that, like Tyler's been saying, and he did real fucking good. And then I also want to point out T-Hawk, who had 179 yards, 2 touchdowns, and just fucking balled out. So, good job on those aspects. But yes, I agree with everything you guys have said. The defense is worst in the league, and the worst defense I've ever seen as a Lions fan in my 18 years of existence.
And hey, Jamal Williams, I'll give him his respect. He's position ranked 6 right now on ESPN for fantasy football running backs. He's getting his.
Well, our defense sucks and our offense is good.
Literally first and worst. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, that's the
offense is ranked number 1. Defense is ranked 32nd.
If we had a bad defense, we'd be undefeated.
What?
Damn near. I think the Philly game, maybe you still lose that one, but other than that, every other game so far would be a win with a serviceable defense.
I heard someone say that. I was like, damn, that's so true. All we need
It's
is a bad
extremely
defense.
true. Just a bad one, but it's so beyond bad that we're losing all these games. Next game we got up, Chargers and Texans. The Chargers needed to win this game. If you lose this game to the Texans, you're just in a bad spot. So Chargers defeat the Texans 34-24, move to 2-2. Texans fall to 0-3-1 because they had that tie earlier in the year. This one was predictable. You could have predicted easily the Chargers beat the Texans on any given day and almost any given year. But what do you guys think about this game? Anything stand out?
You know what? Fuck it. Give me Austin Eckler, Player of the Week. Lock it in. Right now. Because this man only had 13 carries, 60 yards, got in the end zone twice. Then on the receiving side, he had 6 catches, 50 yards, another touchdown. He had 3 touchdowns, and he was the big focal point of that game, being that if he doesn't play this game, then they lose it. So, give me Austin Eckler, Player of the Week. Shout out Chargers. That's all I got to say.
Well, hey, fuck you, Austin Eckler. You don't play. Maybe I get a touchdown with Mike Williams, but hey, he played. Good job. Way to be Player of the Week. Fuck you. Dylan, Jesse, Jesse, Luke, someone, anyone.
Jesse.
Dylan.
Jesse, you're muted.
He's muted.
Yeah. Chargers, they handle business as they should have. They shouldn't have, been close to losing in this game. They should have been winning the whole time. Did what was needed. Got back on track. Glad to see Eckler producing. Because any running back taken in the top 4 has been pretty dog, except for 2 of them. So Good job, Evan.
F. Well, I mean, this game, Mills almost was a stallion, but he had to throw 2 picks, and Herbert didn't throw 2 picks. And if you want to win games, you can't be
That
throwing
says that.
picks because they're damn near neck and neck on the rest of their stats.
Yeah, it's
All
not
right, moving
really a
on.
whole lot.
Oh, Dylan, you got
actually 100
you got more?
passing yards.
No, I was just saying there's not really a whole lot to
okay.
find out about this
Yeah.
game.
No, that's why I was gonna say we're moving on. Next up, Dylan, go to you. You know what that means. Titans, Colts. Titans win 24-17. Titans move to 2-2. Colts fall to 1-2-1 and continue to struggle. Let's hear it.
I got my confidence back because now I already know what it is. All right, cool. Yeah, I got this shit covered. It's going to be us or the Jags. That's the game you got to circle on the calendar for who's going to win the division. It's been clear cut now because the way I watched. Now, first things first, I want to point out just out of the gate, Treylon Burks is hurt. I hate to see that. He's got turf toe and he's going to be out for a couple weeks. That's tough because now Robbie Woods is basically going to be that main receiver, and Derrick Henry has to now put more of the team on his back. But this is now 2 consecutive weeks that Derrick Henry had good performances, and I fucking love to see that from the King. But I also have to point out real quick that my stinker of the week is my first pick in fantasy, Jonathan fucking Taylor. Because, oh my God, it's getting bad now. This is now 3 consecutive weeks that he has really just done nothing offensively. So you can talk about the O-line. You can talk about this and that. He's stinker of the week for me because you cannot go into high-profile division games and put up 40 yards and then go into games like Kansas City last week and put up 30-some yards. Like it can't happen, especially when you are looked at as one of the best running backs in the league. And if he isn't producing, the Colts aren't going to be able to get anything going around him.
Did you say 30 yards against Kansas City because he put up 71?
Now who did I play before Kansas City that made me really fucking mad?
Jacksonville, and he put up 54. Then Houston, he put up
54 against Jacksonville and 40 against fucking the Titans. Those are division games. Those are the bigger games. And you're not doing nothing, man. Wake up. Anyone else got any thoughts on this game, though? Tighten up.
Other than I was happy to see Taylor shit the bed again because I was playing you in fantasy.
Yeah, it was quite aggravating.
My team had a good week. Well, yeah, no. This game, man, Titans. Glad you're pulling it together. I'm sorry that Treylon went down, but you guys, I think Henry's ready to strap on his boots and his backpack. I think
the second people started talking shit, he said, "All right, chill the fuck out. Give me a second."
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I still don't trust that guy who's behind, center, but
right,
he can. He's a Jimmy G. He can get the games won. Do what needs to be did for a night.
Wait, who's a Jimmy G?
Tannehill. He just.
Oh, I thought you called Henry a Jimmy G. I said, wait a damn minute.
No, Tannehill's a Jimmy G.
That would be a hell of a fucking comparison right there.
Yes, no, I agree.
Well, I mean, the King's going to be the King, so I thought the Titans would win this game, but I mean, I didn't know how it would go. But shout out to the Titans for taking the dub and regaining Dylan's confidence in the NFL this year.
Seriously.
Even though the Lions, shattered it. Next up, we got the Jaguars and the Eagles. The Eagles moved to 4-0 and currently are the only undefeated team in the NFL. And I think you could put partial blame, maybe full blame, on Trevor Lawrence for fumbling the ball 4 times in this game. That's enough times to lose the game. But the fact that they fumbled the ball 4 times and only managed to lose it by 1 score is actually rather impressive.
The Jags had us in the first half. I'm not going to lie.
They did. It was 14-0 right off the rip. And then some fucking guy with a blue check mark decided to tweet that the Eagles were fraudulent. And next thing you know, the Eagles fucking win the game in a torrential downpour.
Next thing you know, they start feeding Miles Sanders for 27 carries.
They finally
For real.
who he is for a game. Miles Sanders was the only running back who was averaging 5.5 yards per carry and only getting 10 rushes a game.
Yeah, but at the same
let's-
time,
Why would you not
Philly-
give him the ball
I
more?
also want to
Nobody
point
knows.
out
They have
that
three.
Philly,
Right.
they have, and I just have to point this out because they did this the first game of the year and they did this a shit ton last year. Bro, they have Miles Sanders who will get into the end zone. Then Gainwell will score a touchdown. Then Hurts will score a touchdown. Then Boston Scott will score a touchdown. Then Trey Sermon will score a touchdown. They have everybody. It's unbelievable. They did it a bunch last year. They did it week 1 this year. I don't see any other team in the NFL do it but them. They're like Kansas City with passing touchdowns just on fucking the rushing side.
All right, we're moving on right now because we are not about to hype up Philadelphia. So,
I'm not hyping them up. I'm just pointing it out.
oh, shut the fuck up. All right. Next up, we have a very, very, very fantastic game. Oh my God,
It was
Dylan!
my
This
heaven,
is
people.
literally the prediction you have been saying for so long. Who are the two worst young quarterbacks in the league?
I've said it for a
Mitch
year.
Trubisky and Zach Wilson.
Not
And
even
they
Mitch.
happened.
No.
No, not even Mitch
No.
Trubisky. But he was on that list. But then
I
Kenny
said
Pickett
the
got
biggest
drafted.
bust.
he said he's going to be a bust.
Kenny.
Those two went head to head, and Zach the MILF Killer Wilson came out on top, ladies and gentlemen. He came out on top, and what happened? What did Dylan look at me? Dylan, you looked at me when we were watching Red Zone, and you said something to me when Kenny Pickett came into the game. What did you say?
I looked at Tyler and I said, hey, guess what? Imagine if he throws an interception, because he's going to throw an interception. And what did he do on the first play?
He said first throws an interception.
Listen,
And then he sat back in his chair.
that throw was a bad throw. We'll be honest. There's no.
What
reason-
about the other two interceptions?
I'm just gonna start with the first one.
Okay, I'll let you get to those.
I'm going to
I'll sit
bask in my
back.
victory.
He should never have been throwing that into double coverage. I don't care how tall Claypool is.
Gone forever.
Should have been throwing that shit. But the way Claypool tried so hard to catch that ball, and he got his hands on it, but had two people on him smacking his arms, there was no way he was ever going to catch that ball.
Nah, it floated a little bit too long.
Douchebag and take away my Najee Harris touchdowns like a piece of shit. Thanks for that too. I had faith in you. I thought you could throw the ball, but it doesn't look like you can because it's the Jets defense.
God, why do so many people have faith in this guy? I don't understand it.
No, because I don't like Pittsburgh being a bad team. What the fuck? I don't like Pittsburgh being a bad team.
Good. Well, but anyways, I'm just going to say that out of all 32 teams in the league, I told Tyler as the game was starting that Zach Wilson's the worst quarterback in the league. He threw 2 picks. He didn't do anything special. He got a touchdown pass. He did that. That was pretty cool. I'll give him that. And then he grittied, so good for him. The MILF hunter himself, Zach Milfson. But when it comes to the Pittsburgh side of things, if I had to name one quarterback that I think would be worse than him coming into this year, I would say probably Kenny Pickett. And which officially makes Kenny Pickett America's stinker of the week. He went up to him in interceptions. He threw 3. And I don't want to hear you say, well, you got to give him some credit because he got into the end zone 2 times, and I'd shut the fuck up.
You need to put that in a briefcase and walk up out of here.
He had 4 attempts, and 2 of them were both on the 1-yard line. And God damn it, fucking Ben Roethlisberger would have made it into the end zone on those rushing yards. So I don't want to hear it, okay? And he's going to play like dog. So I don't want to hear it.
Big Ben would have, though.
He would have.
Nah, that is the realest thing. Dylan could have said Ben Roethlisberger would have fucking scored on those 2 if they told Ben to run it in, because Ben's done it before. And God damn it, that sack of potatoes can roll. Luke?
In the roll.
Yeah, I didn't really watch this game.
Good.
So,
Yeah,
You saved yourself. Is what you did.
you're
Interests me.
welcome.
Saved yourself. Yeah, say
Next
you're
up-
welcome to yourself.
We have the Cardinals and the Panthers. The Panthers, if you were following Dylan's picks, took the L. The Cardinals won this one 26-16, moving to 2-2. Panthers fall to 1-3, and the offensive woes continue as they only score 16 points in this one. I think it might be time to switch quarterbacks, even though you traded for Baker Mayfield. It's clearly not working. I'm just saying. It's not like you have 2 all-star quarterbacks or 1 all-star and 1 shitty one. You got 2 average guys. Let's switch it out.
I feel like he's had the same stat line every week. I feel like it's
you know what I mean?
190 yards, a touchdown, a couple picks, 60, around 60, 65 QBR rating. It's now 62 after this game. It's the same shit, I feel like, every game. So you know what that means? He's consistently bad. Congratulations, Baker Mayfield. After
you became
3
consistent
years in the NFL, you finally found a consistency. The problem is it's just bad. So now we have to go back to the inconsistent guy who can still have 300-yard games for no reason and the 3 passing touchdowns, and that be fucking Sammy. So I think you got to make that move. That's just
they don't have Corral because they can't go to that option. He's injured for the whole season with a Liz Frank.
Correct.
And, you know, I find it very funny. I don't know if you guys have heard the talk that's going around, but supposedly DJ Moore is having problems with Baker to the degree where trades are starting to be discussed around.
Dude, if he goes, you know what that means, right?
Interesting.
Mr. I didn't want his ass here in the first place. Mr. Back-to-back games with 3 receptions. Mr. Robbie Anderson, he's right behind him. I'll tell you right now, because even if he becomes a wide receiver,
that team gonna fall apart.
That team is gonna go to shambles. You know, the only person that really did anything who got a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown, take a fucking guess. He's the whole team.
Chanel.
No, the Carolina McCaffreys.
Hey, Paul was the man last week.
I mean, I understand, and that was nutty. I don't even know how that happened.
Come on, man. So does the whole team every week. I was like, no, Chanel was the guy. Did I miss something?
Yeah, Carolina.
All right.
Oh.
Next up, we got the Patriots and the Packers. I told Dylan to put some respect on Belichick's name, and this is why. You went into overtime in Green Bay with your second string, then injured third string quarterback. Zappy comes in.
107 QBR rating, baby.
Yeah, 107 QBR rating for Zappy in this one. Can you look up what was Aaron Rodgers' QBR in this game?
89.1.
Ah, Zappy. Get zapped.
Get
Anyways,
fucking zapped.
He got zapped in QBR, but Aaron Rodgers did the zapping when it came to winning the game in Aaron Rodgers style. Yeah, a field goal was kicked.
Hey, what's going on? I thought Green Bay's defense was like fucking good, but I thought they were gonna be like real good this year, but they haven't really been that impressive. And this was no different.
Well, what's so great about Green Bay's defense?
Man, but I let Bookie tell me for 30 minutes how they were good.
Yeah, but I could have told you for 30 minutes about how Aiden Hutchinson was going to have 8 sacks, and things just don't turn out the way you think they are. You know, maybe he was just believing in something that he was told to believe in by other people that he listens to, and maybe they were wrong.
He was. That's why I got
maybe he was thrown into a cheesehead conspiracy. I'm not really too sure. I'm just here.
He was sipping the cheese.
Might have been grating the cheese. I don't know. Maybe they were putting parm in his fucking hair as a baby. It was what they use as shampoo. I don't know. I'm not there. That's not me. But any other thoughts on this Patriots and Packers game?
Honestly, no.
Other than Bill gave the Packers a run for their money with nobody.
Hey, Bill will be Bill. I'll say that much. The next game we have up, Broncos and Raiders. 32-23 final. The Raiders finally found a win in this one. Broncos fall to 2-2. Raiders, you're 1-3.
Can I start?
Your division is tough. You can start. Good
This
luck.
game,
Good luck,
this game taught me 2 things when it was over. Actually, taught me 1. Yeah, make what you want. The Raiders are going to finish ahead of Bronco, and the Broncos are going to finish last in the division. Okay, here's why. 1, and this is not their fault, Javonte Williams being out and tearing his ACL and now being done with the season
that was significant.
is a big blow. That shit is a really big blow. Now considering that you're going to have
Gone forever.
in back-to-back games, you got to go to Melvin Gordon, who can't hang on to a football, for your rushing leader.
This man has 6 fumbles this year already.
God, it's so bad, but that's not
Hold
gonna
on to
help
the ball.
you. And considering how the Broncos have not been doing anything really offensively with Wilson, I feel like in the first place, nothing's just going to get better. And I don't see how they upclimb. So I feel like it's just going to stay middle or decline.
Incline.
And yeah, what
Incline.
did I say?
Upcline.
Fuck.
You just made some shit
Incline.
up.
I'm confused.
That ain't no word. No. That's
If
not
it
a
would
word.
have started as that, Dylan, I could respect it, but it's been inclined too long. Sorry, buddy.
But do you
Been
guys
incline
agree
forever.
that it's very hard to see an incline in that Denver team?
No, and
No.
they got
No, you can see an incline in that team for sure. Melvin Gordon learns how to hold on to the football. Immediate incline. The offense does what it's supposed to do with a guy. The head coach literally was a genius with Aaron Rodgers. Means he knows a thing or two about offense. He's really good with Russell Wilson. There's a way to make that work because they have good wide receivers and a solid tight end. They can make that work, and then the defense just plays mediocre. They can be what the Lions should be.
And let's not forget the fact that the offense for Denver finally started to fucking click.
Yeah, hey, 23 points. Hey, they finally started getting in the end zone.
Russell and his receivers
That's
are
incline.
starting to do something now.
Yeah, Russell was moving his feet.
Yeah, Russell had a good game.
I think
Yeah.
they
It's all about the
could.
Russ switch, man.
I think they could figure out the
I guess you know
backfield
commercial.
and still truck along heavy in this division.
Have you guys seen that Russ switch commercial?
No.
Bro, look up the Russ switch commercial.
Oh, the
Yes,
dangerous.
it's his new Subway sandwich.
That's just
Somebody look it up right now. I'll look it up.
Yeah, that
I'll
shit
look it
is comedy. It's so cringy. But the only comment
God, it's
I have
amazing.
from this game, aside from what I've said, is I could be wrong, but I believe this is the game where the announcer said that I think he said Javonte Williams moved as quick as a hiccup, and that shit was gas. Quick as a hiccup is some new shit I've heard before, but that's gas.
I agree, and yeah, he was moving as quick as a hiccup, but the problem is now he's on the air.
That shit's so sad.
Tyler, did you find it?
Yeah, just 1 second.
Oh, you know what that means? They're trying to fluff you with an ad.
It ain't getting me.
You want to split the Subway sandwich? It is my signature sandwich. It's called the Danger Witch, and it's dangerously good. Be careful, though. It's spicy. You ever done anything dangerous? That is dangerous. I've done something like that, too. I won't tell anybody. Listen, one time, never mind. That's too dangerous. Anyways, my danger witch, it's only in the bowl. That's our little secret.
He goes, you know what? I can't. That's too dangerous.
You know what? I can't. That's too dangerous.
That's great.
Stop it, Russell Wilson.
Every time Russell does anything in the
Oh my
media
God.
world or advertising, it just
Let's
makes
ride.
sense, and I love it, man.
Let's ride.
That's great.
Danger Witch.
We got one game
ride.
left for the NFL slate.
1 game left, and it was Sunday Night Football. The fucking Kansas City Chiefs took down Tom Brady, took down the Tampa Bay Bucks, ran up the over, and won this game 41-31.
I mean, when the Chiefs are clicking, there's no team in the league that can beat
They're
them.
clicking. It don't matter
This
who's
game-
there.
I think Dylan, I personally think Patrick Mahomes is done dirty, and the way he played this game, he deserved the Player of the Week. I respect that, Cliff, but this man Mahomes was.
Why are you acting like you don't have your own player of the week that you can give to whoever you
I
want?
know, but
Give him player of the week then.
I can still vouch that I think. I think America appreciated what Patrick Mahomes did to Tom Brady. The Brady fans were obviously salty, but
don't tell me that I should have made him my player of the week when you have your own. That's disrespectful to me. I'm just saying. We all have our own opinions.
You need to put that in a briefcase and walk up out of here.
Because when the hell did I start caring about opinions?
All right, fine.
Get up out of here. Come on. How many times do we talk shit and not give a fuck about each other's opinions? Now you
have your own pick. There is no reason to say, Dylan, I think you should have made this yours. You could have just said, this is my pick of the week. There was an unnecessary shot at me.
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
Just admit that's all that it was.
Wasn't a shot at you. It's just I'm new to Mondays. I didn't know we all got player of the week.
Who the fuck is that guy?
It's okay, Jesse. I can give you. You're good.
Yeah. If you got one, you got one. If you don't, it's fine.
Because Patrick Mahomes, he put on a goddamn display of why he is that guy.
In honor of that, Jesse, give us your stinker of the week.
My stinker of the week wasn't even on the goddamn field. It was Harbaugh. He's my stinker of the week.
Jim, first coach.
Play calling. Can't agree.
Not the brother.
Can't agree with some decision making.
No.
I can't. That's my stinker of the week.
Not the brother buzzing the
I had
brother.
to pick a player. It's Zach Wilson for showing favoritism to Elijah Moore and Corey Davis and not throwing to his most successful receiver all season.
Luke, you got a stinker of the week?
Yeah.
You got a POS player?
I might. But the stinker of the week is going to be the Bucs defense, because supposedly you can't run against the Bucs defense, but that wasn't told to Clyde Edwards-Helaire or anyone who ran on the Kansas City backfield, because they manhandled that fucking D-line and ran straight through it.
I agree. That's a good pick. The Bucs
Yours
only
was
allowed
better than
27 points all year going into this game, and they allowed fucking 28 in the first half. So they got mushed.
Yeah, yours is better than mine, Luke. You definitely have America's stinker of the week.
No, America's stinker of the week is still Kenny Pickett.
You're
That's
right.
America's.
That is America's.
I want to give my player of the week to TJ Hawkinson. The Lions. But the Lions lost, but he was a fucking dog. If
Only
you
took him,
watch
what,
that
3 years?
game,
Yes.
if you watch
figured it
that
out.
game, he was an animal.
God bless. If he doesn't keep doing this, don't give him any money. He does this for the rest of the year, give him a fat contract. This better be the new Hawk.
After me personally believing
This is what he was supposed to be.
Kenny Pickett was put in the game to try and win the game,
Oh, God.
but they weren't going to play him forward because they were like, this O-line shit, he'll probably die. We don't want to even set him up like that. No, I was wrong. Trubisky is done. He is no longer getting any more PT. The Steelers have stated that Kenny Pickett is the QB1 moving forward. Like, Trubisky, he had his chance. It's Kenny Pickett's team now. Like, that's he will be playing again starting next week.
Oh, down the shitter. That is so good. I'm actually excited to watch the rest of that season play out.
No. Hold on. So, Dylan.
What?
It's Monday, you know. We haven't even seen Monday Night Football. And
Right.
I hear the comments you were making about Kenny Pickett. I know how you feel about Mr. Kenny Pickett. So you're feeling that they're going to lose next week, like automatically?
Who do they play?
I knew you would say that.
Well,
No, there's no way they win.
who do they play?
Kenny Pickett's going to die against the Bills.
Hey, Oh my God! You know what's crazy is I just remembered you saying that. Hold up.
They're playing against the Bills.
No, wait. I know. Just 1 second. Give me 1 second. Pittsburgh Steelers. Listen to this, okay? They play the Bills, smacked. Then they play the Bucks, smacked. Then they play Miami, smacked. Then they play Philly, smacked. Those are their next 4 games. It's going to be great to watch. Then maybe they'll be New Orleans, and then they'll get smacked by the Bengals. It will be great.
But is this not the 4 perfect games for him to prove himself? If he's going to show.
Alrighty. Okay.
So can we go to
Someone's got to step in and stop this absurd commentary about the possibility of Kenny Pickett stepping in and becoming that guy in those next 4 games. So I'm going to step in and be that guy and say that it's time to do the Monday night football game. Tonight, we got the Los Angeles Rams playing against San Francisco 49ers. For those of you that are in the Fantasy Football League, you may or may not have peeped my game. I need Cooper Kupp to get 1 fucking catch or 5 yards or some shit. I don't know. I'm literally down by like 0.5 or something. But Cooper Kupp, come on, you can do it. But with that being said, we do have the Monday Night Football same game parlay. But first, we have predictions. So, who do we have winning tonight's Los Angeles Rams and San Francisco 49ers game? Let's start with Luke.
Well, the Rams are going to win it, but Jimmy G is going to be Jimmy G.
Can you define that a little more, please?
Jimmy G gets dumped.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you say that, I imagine him winning games.
I imagine Jimmy G's an issue for everyone in the league.
Okay, so the Rams win a very problematic game. Caused by Jimmy G's issues.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm taking San Francisco because Sean McVay cannot beat San Francisco. Can't beat him at home. Can't beat him on the road. He just can't beat him. And it's a damn shame. And I think Deebo Samuel is going to have a fantastic game. I think that the Los Angeles Rams are probably going to get stopped offensively. I don't think they're going to have as good of an offensive game as they have been in the past couple weeks. So give me San Francisco.
I'm taking San Francisco because they have won the last 6 meetings aside from the playoff game. So all regular season games.
Yeah, they own McVay.
They own them in the regular season. They lost them in the playoffs. So it matters. But I don't think the Rams are going to win this game because it's going to be a higher scoring game than people think because a lot of the 49ers defense is low-key injured. I don't think Armstead's playing. So, I'd shoot the over. But I think the way the 49ers waste time on offense, Matthew Stafford's going to end up throwing an interception at the end of the game and not going to have enough time.
I would
anytime touchdown score, 49ers defense is not a bad bet tonight. I'm not going to cap. My pick tonight is the Rams, but that does not bode well for our same game parlay where we do not have the Rams. But I think the Rams are going to pull this one off, but I can see so many ways of us losing this game. So, and then for the Lions' sake, I hope the Rams do lose. But I don't know. I feel like the Rams can definitely win this game, but I would shoot for the over in this one as well. Only 41.5. And I understand why, because the primetime games have not been anything special, but come on. We need a good one. So with that being said, we'll start off with the same game parlay. What we have here is plus 2,487 with a few selections. So, Dylan, we'll go to you first up for the same game parlay.
And I have Deebo Samuel, anytime touchdown scorer. I don't care if it's receiving. I don't care if it's rushing. I could see it possibly being both. But I think that Deebo Samuel has always notoriously done very well against the Rams. And I don't think that's going to stop tonight.
I got, matching up with Dylan for 60-plus on receiving yards for him. I think I have a nice air game.
Yeah, for sure. On FanDuel, got it locked in at over 57.5 yards. So 60, just a cherry on top. Luke, we go to you. I believe this one had another thing to do with Mr. Debo Samuel.
Yep, Debo over 29.5 rushing.
Oh my God, you can call it the Debo lay, and let's just say that we may or may not have sprinkled the over 41.5 and 49ers money line on top of that. My pick to cap it all off is a Cooper Kupp anytime touchdown scorer. You can get it for plus 110 on FanDuel, and so we had to throw it into this parlay. He's almost a guaranteed touchdown, so Cooper Kupp to tie it all together. So total, we have Debo Samuel anytime touchdown score, over 57.5 receiving yards, and over 29.5 rushing yards. Cooper Kupp anytime touchdown, the over 41.5 points in the game in the San Francisco money line, plus $2,487, $25 bet would win you $646.
Oh, wow.
Please bet responsibly or call 1-800-GAMBLER because you have a problem. Anyways, that's all we have for the NFL. So we will go to college football. Like I had said before, I didn't watch a lick of it, so I really can't be helpful here. I'm not going to cap to you. So I leave it to Dylan.
Oh, you're just going to leave? I mean, I understand. All right. Did you guys watch college football?
Nope. Right.
Did anybody watch college football this week?
I was on the road for 6 hours.
Did we catch up?
Go blue, baby.
Wow. You know what? Fuck it. Let's start with Washington and UCLA. UCLA with DTR is officially a team that people need to start watching out for. DTR has entered the Heisman race. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, that's Dorian Thompson-Robinson. He had 315 passing yards, 3 touchdowns to beat Washington. They are now 5-0, and I believe next week, College Game Day is going to be going to that TCU-UCLA game, as they are both now 5-0. But UCLA is a team that needs more respect as of this moment, because I'm sure that they will probably now be ranked. Oh, wait. I do remember seeing now yesterday they were ranked. So, shout out to UCLA. Next things next, we got the Michigan game, and I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. They played a bad team, but, they performed well. I'll say this. Luke, if you want to hop in on this one, you said go blue, and that is probably the only game that I expect you to hop in on. Michigan is now 5-0. They beat Iowa 27-14. They played really well. J.J. McCarthy, he didn't do anything too special. He only had 150 yards and a touchdown, but Iowa's defense, we pointed out how good that was. And once again, Corum was probably the go-to guy that you were looking to make something happen, and he had 130 yards and a touchdown. So he did that. Be happy. Iowa's offense is still bad, so the fact that they even got 14 points is astonishing to me. But shout out to Michigan. They're 5-0. Next game, in my college picks, I would have been wrong, but it looks like Oklahoma State is a little better than I thought. Oklahoma State played Baylor this week. The number 9 played the number 16, and the number 9 won. Now, this was a really good game, even though, for some reason, Baylor wide receiver fucking Baldwin had 174 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, and every single pass was completed to him, which honestly was astonishing to me because I was like, I don't even know who Monterey Baldwin is. And then I realized that, oh, wait, he's one of the best receivers in college football. Okay, put a little more respect on his name. And then what's even more impressive than that is Oklahoma State was able to hang with them the whole time. Now, Spencer Sanders has not done anything too impressive all year. Not saying that he did anything impressive this game, but I will say that Spencer Sanders performed better than he has been. Oklahoma State's defense and run game has been always their focal point. That is how they won this game, and that wasn't anything different. Jesse, what's up? I just saw you in here.
The game. I feel like it was a good game, and it went how it should
have. It was a good game. The next game we have up is Georgia, because, oh fucking my, this is back-to-back weeks that going into halftime, Georgia they had a 7-point lead last time. They were down by 7 this time, and they were at one point down by 10 points going into the fourth quarter. And you're probably thinking, all right, well, who was the ranked team that they played? Nope, they played Missouri. So 2-2 Missouri, who, just so you know, has nobody, okay? Brady Cook is their fucking quarterback. You gave Brady Cook a 123 QBR rating. That's the best defense in the nation?
That's how you get leapfrogged by Alabama, and now you're number 2.
And that's exactly how they should be number 2. When Alabama performed how they did against Texas, against good competition on the road, they got leapfrogged. But this is way worse against an unranked team on the road that you should have came in and beat by 30, 40 points. And it was bad. And the fact that you had to go into the fourth quarter to squeeze that out, that's unbelievable. Because watching that fourth quarter, I'm not going to lie. I'm watching the highlights of this game, right? I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was 1 a.m. in my bed. I'm going into halftime with my jaw on my ass, but in the back of my head, I'm going, I feel like I would have seen headlines of Georgia losing. And then the fourth quarter came. I was so convinced that this was going to be a Georgia loss, and I was like about to go on Twitter and start searching it up because, like, why was this not talked about? And then they pulled it out of their ass, and I have no idea how they won that game. But I genuinely thought until the fourth quarter hit, is Georgia going to lose? Oh, my God, Georgia's going to lose. And that should not be a thought that you have against Missouri. So they got to figure that one out. And I know that, and I already know that next week there's going to be a lot of pressure on them when they go to play Auburn at home. So they got to figure that one out. But the next game that I have is the Alabama-Arkansas game. Alabama and Arkansas, the number 2 against the number 20. It went good until 7 minutes in the first quarter when it was 14-0 Alabama. And then everyone kind of realized how this game was going to go. And then it was 28-7 at halftime. And then everyone really realized how this game was going to go. And then maybe Arkansas said, hold everything. We're going to score 16 points in the third quarter and make this a fucking 21-28 game. And then Alabama said, no, you guys suck. Let's score 21 points in the fourth quarter. And we won 49-26. But the biggest stat, or the biggest thing that was talked about from this game, was Bryce Young leaving the game with an injury. He had 173 yards, was 7 for 13, a tutty and a pick. And then he left the game on a little injury. And that's the number 2 Heisman candidate as of right now. So that could be a pretty big blow for Alabama. What do you think, Jesse?
That could be a pretty bad blow to his draft stock.
Oh, yeah. I think it could be a pretty big blow as well. But also,
do we know the injury yet?
What?
Do we know the injury yet?
No, I don't know the injury or how long it is yet. But I do know one thing, and that's that there's one guy in Alabama who's been pretty consistent, and that's Jahmyr Gibbs. And Jahmyr Gibbs is pretty goddamn consistent again. Jesse, how many yards do you think he had? Just give me a guess, top of your head.
You said they had 49 points?
Correct.
158.
You were off by around 50. He had 206 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
The man did what he did, and he's already one of the top backs in the league, and he's continuing to up his draft stock every time that he steps on the field. So shout out to Alabama. Blowout. Here we go. This is a game I wanted to get to. So, Clemson and NC State. And a lot of people were actually talking about this game because NC State gave them the worst loss that they had last year, and they were like, oh, no, if that defense continues to do what they did last year against Clemson, they could get the upset. And, hey, they hung in the entire game, and it was only a 30-20 game at the end. But the big thing is that Clemson, when it came to their quarterback, he continued to do it again. I guess I'll continue to give DJ his props because he keeps pulling out these wins. I still think when they play a top 10, top 15 team that they are absolutely fucked. But that's just the way that it's looking right now. There's nothing that you can really do about it. And when it comes to the NC State side of things, they don't have anybody offensively that's going to carry them to a win in this game besides Thayer Thomas. And Thayer Thomas was fucking basically hurt half the game. So I don't understand how NC State was in this game as long as it does, and that makes me think that Clemson is just being a little faulty this year. I still don't even know how Clemson's number 5 in the nation, and I've been saying that since week 1, I'll be honest. But the next game we have is Kentucky and Ole Miss. This was one of the better games this week. This was in the earlier slate at 12 o'clock. Kentucky and Ole Miss. And basically, Will Levis in the second quarter had his finger off to the side on the other side of his hand. And it was completely fucked. He continued to play the rest of the game. And this game had a little bit of controversy at the end. You hate to see the controversy, but you know what? Sometimes it happens. And what the controversy I'm talking about is that it was 19-22 in the fourth quarter. And on the final drive that Kentucky had, there was a hit, on quarterback Will Levis that was or was not, to some people's eyes, targeting, because when you hit a quarterback in the face mask, people are going to get hit. Also want to remind you, before we started this year, do you remember all the rules that I read you about you can barely sack a quarterback in the league now this year, right? So any 50-50 targeting call you think would be called, right? Wrong. They didn't call the targeting call. He fumbled the ball because he got absolutely scrambled like two eggs, and that was how the game ended, and Ole Miss got it. Controversy all over controversy. And once again, I feel bad for Kentucky because I feel like last year when they had a good team, they kept getting fucked over by close games, and this is continuing to happen. Not just that I had Kentucky, that you could probably tell in this game by the way I'm talking. Ole Miss has a really good team, and they were at home, and honestly, they were the favorite team, and everything kind of favored them in this game, but still really angry about that. And I don't think you can go and implement a million rules about targeting the quarterback and then on any 50-50 call, or the first 50-50 call that's basically been talked about this year, it's not called. That's quite wild to me.
That wasn't targeting, though. I felt like it should have been called targeting.
It should have been called. And keep in mind, they were in their field possession around their 30-yard line. So a field goal would have tied it, and a touchdown would have won it. They had the time to do it as well.
Because he could have got lower, and he didn't get lower. He went at his head.
Exactly. Which would be, if I'm not wrong, the definition.
Head to head, it looked like.
Yes. Also, we got some bad news for Snoop Luke, because Mississippi State absolutely pooped on Texas A&M. Now, it was 14-0 at halftime, and you were sitting there like maybe it could be close. Then they made it 14-10. In the fourth quarter hit, and they just couldn't keep up with them offensively. That was really all that it was. But Mississippi State, if we had a podcast Friday, was going to hype them up and give them a bunch of credit because they're unranked, and I think they should have been before this game started. And I think that the fact that they have not won this game, I'm pretty sure they are ranked, because Texas A&M, let's just cut the bullshit, okay? Devin A-Chain, I was about to say his name wrong because I always call him Acne. Devin A-Chain has been the main guy that everyone's talking about, and he's a running back, and that's for draft stock, and that's basically it offensively. He has been the guy that everyone's talking about. Over on Mississippi State, it has now been a good couple of games where Will Rogers is balling. He's almost at 2,000 yards, and we have only played 4 or 5 games. 5 games. He had 330 yards again and 3 touchdowns against Texas A&M, and Mississippi State has been playing really good ball. He likes Ra Thomas. And I love saying that name every time I see it. Ra Thomas, number 1 receiver, Mississippi State. Come on now. His name is R-A-R-A. It's just Ra. That's the best. So shout out to Mississippi State. If anyone, Tyler or Luke, can check if Mississippi State is ranked for me and what they are, I would fucking really appreciate that. But I only have a couple games left. And by a couple, I genuinely think I mean 2. Yes. So we're going to go to the Wake Forest and Florida State game. This was the number 23 game, number 23 against the number 22. And I was going to go on a rant Friday. I did it partially to Tyler before our beer league game about why the fuck is Wake Forest +6. They just went to overtime with Clemson, right? The week before. Absolutely took them in a over 100-point game. It was a 50-some game in double overtime. Took Clemson. Then you go into Florida State, and they're the +6 when against a Florida State team that has still been faulty. And this is the first. Do you have it for me, Ty?
23.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So they have taken now what Florida State was, which honestly just fits us even perfect, even better. So Florida State is now probably unranked, which I love even better because they shouldn't have been ranked 23. The only reason why they even had the 4-0 start in the first place is because the teams they were playing weren't that impressive, and they were teams that we expected to be better than they were, and they weren't. And when it comes to the whole ACC, that shit's a mess. But I digress. Wake Forest, what I'm trying to say is they came on and they put another great display on. Sam Hartman, he's continuing to be consistent. Justice, same guy. His name is Justice Ellison, so don't go off. He has continued to do very, very good as well. So shout out to Wake Forest. They beat Florida State. Jesse, do you have anything to say about this Wake Forest team? Because I really like it.
I like Wake Forest. I was going to take them on their points 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I would keep an eye on them.
And they almost won.
I really like them. Yeah, I'm really starting to like them. This one is going to be the quickest recap that I do. Michigan State lost to Maryland 13-27. Our kicker missed 3 touchdowns. We had the he missed 3 extra field goals. What I mean. The funeral's been done. We had it last week. We know the season's over. It's in the shitter. Shout out to every other Big Ten team but us. It's just bad, and it sucks to be a Spartan right now. Final game that I have to recap is Purdue and Minnesota, only because Minnesota, big 4-0 team, big favorite here, was expected to go in and just pound Purdue, and then Purdue scrambled the fuck out of everybody's brains and then just played lights out defense and wouldn't let Minnesota get anything going at all, and that consisted to a 20-10 win. I'm not going to rattle off a bunch of stats for Purdue like I know who the fuck they are, because I don't. I'll just be honest with you. So Purdue got a win over Minnesota, which is really big for them, but also, like I said, scrambles a lot more things in the Big Ten, which makes things more exciting. And those are what?
Did Nebraska win?
Yes, they won the second game, 35-21 over Indiana. But those were the 10 college football games that I feel like you guys will care about the most. Next week, we aren't in GV, so I know Tyler will be watching those games, and I won't have to kill myself with 5 straight fucking hours of football in my bedroom. So, next time we will see you guys will be this Wednesday. That will be Low Tide. Then again, back on Friday for the NFL and college preview for this weekend. If you want to see more of us, go to Six Pack Coverage. Go to Ride the Tide 586 on Instagram and Twitter to get all more of us. We are on YouTube. We are on everything. If you want some merchandise, same shit, go to sixpackcoverage.com. We appreciate all of you. I don't have anything else to add. Everyone have a great night. We love you. Peace!